this, and we're going to get this thing rocking and rolling. I've had quite a few people message me about this, and it's worked for me, and I want to be able to share it with you guys. If you use it, amazing. If you don't, no problem. You know, do what works best for you, but understand that what we do, if you're building this business, which I'm pretty sure everybody on this call is, you want to do things that are duplicatable. And I'm on here to, you know, teach, and I'm teaching to teach, because when you can teach to teach, that leads to duplication, and duplication leads to momentum, and massive momentum, okay, leads to residual income. And I'm pretty sure everybody on this call wants to have a taste of residual income, because if you've never tasted residual income before, I promise you, once you do, you're never gonna want to go back. Like, once your mind has been expanded by an idea, it never goes back to its original form. How many of you guys have heard that before? It's so real. And once I understood the concept of residual income, I was like, do the work one time, get a system down that's duplicatable, build yourself, pour into your people, build them up as leaders, do the exact same thing, repetition, repetition. Guys, you can't lose if you continue to pour into other people. It's just a fact. And so when I go out and I speak at events, or I hop on calls or whatever it may be, I have the pure intention of, how can I give to somebody? How can I provide some kind of value to somebody? I hopped on a call earlier with this girl. She's an absolute badass. She's in a different company, and it was just a regular call. It was a collaborative call, because when you can collaborate with other people, guys, it's so powerful. Even if you're on different teams, different companies, different industries, collaboration is meant to allow yourself and that other person to learn from one another. That's what this is about, because then you can take their perspective, okay, and the lifetimes that they've experienced, and you can go out and leverage their experiences, their credibility, their success, whatever it may be, and share that with other people. Guys, you have so much potential. You have so much power in that to be able to go out and really elaborate and expand your vision to helping other people. It's just a phenomenal feeling. So I'm at a point right now where it's not about the sign up. It's not about the next rank advancement. None of that. I'm about creating success stories, but through that, I want to work through you, okay? Because I know if I can work through you, you have more network than I do right now, and you can go out there and inspire and empower other people for the mission that I'm after and the mission that you're after. And that's how we're able to tap into people across the globe, internationally, all over the world, with people that actually need this. So guys, understand, Tony Robbins talks about this all the time. When people feel like they're a part of something bigger than themselves, okay, they feel alive. They feel alive because they're contributing to a greater cause. And when you can create an environment as a leader that's welcoming and inviting and a safe haven, okay, for investing as what we are, this platform, and you can allow people to come in and feel welcome and safe and protected and in a culture and in an atmosphere where they feel like they can thrive and that's conducive to their growth, they're not going to want to leave. And that's not like we're trying to force them to stay, but like, who wants to leave an environment where they feel like they're growing, they're getting better, and they're around people that actually genuinely care? That's what we want to create. Anyways, I'm just giving you this this preface before I get into the details. So guys, hopefully you're taking notes, because I do have some things that I want to go over. Anyways, I won't get to that piece of paper. I had a call with this girl earlier, and she was just dropping bombs on me. And I was like, I'm gonna keep taking notes. You keep talking. That's amazing. So, okay, awesome. I want to talk about Tinder. Tinder is something that I came across when I first got started with iMarkets Live. I'll be honest, guys, I had no idea what I was doing. When I got started, I was in 100K student loan debt, and I didn't really know what I was doing. I didn't really know where I was going with my life. And all I saw was, cool, I get to make money, or I get to learn a skill that's going to allow me to make money, and I'm going to pay off my student loan debt. And then it got to the point where, okay, cool, I'm making money. Now it's so much bigger, and I can have that time and financial freedom down the road. And oh shit, money is abundant, right? And now I can provide this to other people. That was my mentality. And so Tinder came across for me, and it was something that was just so simple, because if any of you guys are already using Tinder, I'm gonna just say this right now. I'm gonna say three things. In order to be successful in any area of your life, you have to humble yourself. Okay, you have to adapt to a new way of thinking and a new way of doing, and sometimes a new way of being, because you can't stay stuck in your old habits, because sometimes those habits are conducive to your growth, to where you're trying to go. Okay, and you have to be self-aware with who you are. But one of the biggest things I want to say is have humility with whatever you're trying to do in life, and understand that we don't have all the answers. I still don't have all the answers, but I'm on here to share with you guys something that's been helping me and get me to the point where I know I can bring on people every single week. And it's at a point right now where I don't get excited when I get a sign up anymore. It's just like, I'm excited for that person and to see how I can help them grow. Anyways, guys, you got to humble yourself. You got to be coachable. You got to be open-minded, and you've got to follow instructions. I promise you guys, if you do what I'm about to break down to you, you'll see some results. You'll see some success, but it's about practice. Okay, you're not going to get it overnight. Some of you guys might, but it's over time. And don't get discouraged, because when you get discouraged, like, nothing's going to come out of that. You have to practice. You have to implement. Tinder, I've said this before, and I'm going to counteract what I said before. Tinder can work if you're a guy or a girl. Okay, it doesn't matter. As long as you do it in the right way and you have posture, it can work. But you have to be open-minded. You have to be coachable, and you have to know how to follow instructions. That's like one of the main things that, other than consistency, that Jason and Matt and Austin and all those top leaders, they talk about. Okay, being coachable. So one of the things that I want to talk about, like I said, is going through how I talk to people on Tinder. And I'm not going to get too much into the details of what I say, because it's really just conversational based, but I will go over some questions that I ask, and I will point you guys in the right direction to watching a video that one of my really great friends and mentors, and somebody I personally look up to and respect, he did a video call for our team a while back, and he talked about his exposure pipeline and the conversation that he has when he's talking with people. And he goes through in detail what he does and some of the questions that he talks about. So I would lead you to that video. This call right here, what I want to talk to you guys about is how I really dive into this. So first of all, you got to download the app, okay? And if you haven't ever done this before, download the app, and you want to create a profile. So I have a few pictures on here. Honestly, guys, a lot of them, like, I have like a selfie of me, okay, just so they can see who I am, a real person. But I just have like general pictures. Like, a lot of them, it's like, okay, this one, I'm in the London subway. So I show people, like, whoever you are, like, however you want to be, right? Or not however you want to be, like, whoever you are, show that, right? So I love to travel. We travel a lot. And so I want to show people, like, I'm a real person. I travel. I go to all these places, and it's dope. I love to meet new people. Like, my bio literally says, love to travel and meet new people. And you guys can say whatever you want to say. I do say that I'm a Forex trader and I'm a gym rat. And then I say at the bottom, add me on Snap. And then I have my username. So people are constantly adding me on Snapchat just by having this platform available. And that's the cool part, because people go onto your page or go onto your Snapchat, and they'll naturally start watching your story. Okay? Or if you want to use Instagram, you leverage Instagram more than Snapchat, or you want to put both, doesn't matter. Do whatever you want to do. But my bio literally says, love to travel, meet new people, and I have emojis in there. And then I have below that, Forex trader and gym rat. You guys can say whatever you want to say. I would keep it simple, to the point, and put some cool pictures up. Like, I don't know, like this one of me, I'm in the subway in London. This one, I'm looking off of a viewpoint in Switzerland, and this one I'm like doing a pistol squat in Flagstaff, I think. And yeah, this one I'm at an event in London. So, it's just show like who you are, but not obviously too much detail. It's Tinder, you know what I mean? So that's all I have, and it's just like super simple. It doesn't have to be all these cute pictures, because you don't or a guy, it doesn't have to be like, whatever it is. Just like show who you are through your pictures. Because we want to give the right, we don't want to give off the wrong image to people. Like, we're not on here to date. We're not on here to get into a relationship or a one night stand or anything like that. And that's the one thing I do want to tap into really quick, because it is Tinder. It's considered to be a dating site. I've found to be very successful when I'm able to use it for a different means, because the way that I look at it is, people are on there. Most people who want to just hook up, they lack some kind of fulfillment in their life. And I subconsciously look at that as a way for me to tap into that person and, ask them, like, what lights you up? Like, what's something you could talk about all night long on a Saturday night and lose track of time? And I tap into their why and the need in their life. And that's a great segue for me to get into how iMarkets Live would be able to benefit them. And in reality, guys, this is one thing to keep in mind when I talk to people. this is a nugget too, is this is a sorting business. You guys may have heard that before. I personally just heard it about a month ago, and it's crazy. Like, I've been doing this for almost 20 months, and I just heard this is a sorting business. It is a sorting business, because if you want to hang around P6, P1000, cool. Have expectations on every single person that you talk to, right? But if you want to go 6, 7, 8 figures plus in this industry, building this business, you have to understand that you have to emotionally detach yourself to the outcome. Okay, you can't be so caught up in what somebody has to say. Because when I call people, I don't care who you are. I'm so about what I'm doing with this. iMarkets Live is gold. That's how I see this. IML is gold. That's how I see this. And when you are so like dead ass on what you're doing, nobody can tell you otherwise. I won't get into the details. I did another call on the Perfect Invite, basically taking what Austin Gatti gave to us as a training when he was here verbatim. If you guys want that link, I'll send it to you. It was phenomenal. I just literally spoke what he said in a video for the squad. But you cannot be emotionally attached to people. So when I talk to people on Tinder, some of them are going to be ignorant. Some of them are going to be closed-minded. I don't care. I'm sorting through people, and I'm looking for my aces. Because when I can get people to come in here that just get it, they're coachable, right? Even if they don't even know what they're doing, they're coachable. That's the most important piece. Because trust me, guys, when you start to bring on people into your business and people are open to following instructions and just doing what you set out to do, the plan of action and guiding them, that's the best. That's the best. So getting into this, guys, what I do, I'm gonna kind of run you through what I do every single day, and I'll kind of break out my structure. In the morning, I wake up and I do my trading. That's when I do most of my setups and my trading and things like that. Right before or right after I'm done with my workout and going on the charts and watching IML TV and listening to my personal development or reading or whatever it may be, this is the next thing that I do. I have to get my mind right. I have to get my body right. And I prioritize what I'm doing in the first place, trading, okay? Prioritizing the skill, and I'm studying, I'm getting on the charts. And if there's a setup, cool. If there's no setup, cool. I'm not trading. But this is the next part of my morning ritual, my morning routine, is I'm starting new conversations. And for me, I do 3 different things on 3 different platforms. I start with Tinder. And what I'll do is, like right now I have about 20 messages I need to go back and respond to, right? So I'll go on Tinder and I'll swipe. But guys, I'm not just swiping. I know I used to say this before. I'm kind of taking a step back and did something different. I'm actually going to pay attention to what their bio says in their pictures too. Because if they're a creep, or, if their bio says I'm here to blah, 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 like, okay, you're not somebody I want to talk to because I know your intentions. So I'll read their bio briefly and I'll be like, oh yeah, I want to be friends with this guy. I'm gonna swipe. I swipe about 10 to 15 times until I swipe until I have about 10 to 15 matches. Cool. Then I'll go in here and I'll message first all of them, unless they message me first, doesn't matter. And what I say, hopefully you guys are taking notes. What I say when I message them, honestly, be yourself. This is me being Abby. But I found that this works or it's something that's a great conversation starter, because instead of me saying, hey, Jared, how are you? How's it going? How's your week? Like, they could literally say anything. I want to spark some kind of conversation, some kind of substance I can work with. And instead of them just saying, oh, it's good, or I'm bored, I'm just chilling, I basically say, what's up, Malik? Exclamation point, emoji, whatever you want to put. What's been the highlight of your week? That sparks a conversation, because I actually get really good messages from people, and they tell me what's going on with their week. If they tell me something negative, I'm like, all right, well, what's been the highlight? Like, tell me something good. Tell me what you're grateful for. Like, what did you learn? So I'm getting into a different way of thinking for them, because most people, they're not asked what's the highlight. What are they grateful for? So you get into a different mode of conversation instead of it just being this dry, mundane, boring communication that you guys are having right now. You ask questions that trigger certain responses, so you can have a conversation and learn more about them and relate, right? And let me just say this really quick, guys. When I have conversations with people, I'm not forcing anything, okay? I'm just literally trying to learn more about them, and maybe I make a friend. Maybe they join my business. Maybe we collaborate down the road. I don't know. There's no expectation. All my expectations is to talk to new people every single day, and I'm looking to get 2 exposures. That's what I'm focusing on. But that's how I start conversations. What's up, Malik? emoji, exclamation point, whatever you want to do. What's been the highlight of your week? And it's been really good to have that conversation and then segue into, figuring out the need in their life. Because I don't invite somebody to watch an or watch a video or get on a live call or go out to an event unless I know the need or the why in their life. Because the invite, I leverage their need. I leverage their why. And so it's so simple for me to be able to talk to them in that way, because now I know why they need this. I'm not going to invite somebody if I don't know why they need this. I hope that makes sense. So with that being said, I literally do that. And I have 2 different times out of the day that I go and I message people. One time in the morning, 10 to 15 matches on Tinder. And then I'll go to Facebook. And I don't know about you guys, I have like over 600 friend requests right now. I'm so bad. And I go to Facebook and sometimes, like, I know Matt Rosa talks about, you want to go and find new people on, different sites and things like that. And I was like, well, let me just go through my friend requests. And I'm just going to see the quality profiles that I vibe with, that I like, and, they're giving out value. And I'll go and I'll do the exact same thing that Matt talked about with the social media training. If you don't know the social media training that he did, just message me. I have like a breakdown script that I can send to you on like what I do. But I'll go and I'll, add 5 to 10 people on Facebook, and then I'll go to Instagram and I'll follow about 15 to 20 new people, and I'll like each of their photos, like whatever, 3 or 4, comment on something, and that's it. Like, there's more to it, but I really wanted to talk about Tinder because I know this is what got me. Oh, that's the guy. But this is what got me to P600, because I was relentless. I said, Abby, if you're doing something, you're all in. You're all in. Because if you're going to do anything in life, why would you half-ass it, right? Why would you half-ass learning how to trade? Why would you half-ass building this business? Like, if you want to help people, help people. Stop thinking about the money. Stop thinking about the sign up. Stop thinking about that next rank advancement, and focus on helping that person. Because remember to when you got started and how bad you may have needed this when the person that reached out to you showed you this. I know I needed this, and I remember how scared and fearful and worried I was when I got started. I was like, oh my God, $200. That's like, that was a lot for me. I actually had to sacrifice a bill to get started with this. So imagine what that person's going through and how you can actually help them. So get back into leading with your heart and having pure intentions. There's not much to it, guys. Like in the morning, I'll message my people. I focus on having new conversations and starting those new conversations with people. And then in the afternoon, later on, after I've developed that conversation, like, I'll literally set a timer for about an hour in the morning, and I'll just message people. If they message back, it's like 7 in the morning, I'll message them back. And in the afternoon, sometime I pick a time and I'll do that. I set a timer, because if you just drag it on and you allow yourself to just throughout the day message people, you'll get so consumed with that. And like, I don't want to be controlled by the messages. Like, I want to be able to build my business in the way that I want to build my business and not be controlled by the messages. So I designate certain times throughout the day where I'm going to focus on talking to new people and following up. So afternoon, that's when I reply to messages, follow up, send out, the recordings or the live call links, or, confirm or have the confirmation set for the event that night, whatever it may be. I designate a time where I set a timer, and that's what I focus on. So let me go back over my notes here. So yeah, right intentions. Biggest thing I could say, guys, is just practice. Like, I didn't get this overnight. I was so frustrated in the beginning because I was like, I don't know what I'm doing. And I didn't really have like somebody telling me, what to do. I just kind of figured it out. Let me go over this really quick, and then I'll open it up to any questions that you guys have. Where's my questions? Hold on. Questions to, no, that's not it. Hold on 1 second. I know I just went over this with somebody the other day. Questions to ask. Okay, so these are some questions that I like to ask people. If you want me to repeat them, just let me know. So after this, I'll open it up to any questions specifically that you guys have. So some of the questions that I ask in a conversation, if I feel like it's not going anywhere, or maybe I want to learn more about somebody in this area. So for example, I just told you, I asked that question, what's the highlight of your week? That's like the one starter question that I like to ask people. Another question that I like to ask is, what's been the biggest lesson you learned this week, this month, or today, whatever, right? Because you want to get them thinking in a certain mentality. You don't want to just, like, when people go through the motions. That's what I'm trying to say. People just go through the motions and they never take the time to reflect on their life. And so when you can ask questions that allow them to actually think for themselves and, what did you learn this week? And that will actually allow them to be vulnerable with you and talk about maybe an issue that went on or a problem in their life. And you hear the same thing that they talk about. That's something that's reoccurring. That's a need that you can leverage when you invite them to a call. So what's been the biggest lesson you learned this week? What's something you're grateful for today? Because I know I've had days where I get so caught up in me, and how my life isn't going well, and all this other whatever. But when you can take a step back, if somebody's complaining or being ungrateful, or victimizing themselves, whatever, making excuses, what are you grateful for today? Take a step back, reflect, right? When was the last time you did something you were scared to do? Who are you inspiring? Who are you? Why do you wake up in the morning and do what you do? Who are you doing it for? Who are you leading by example? Who is looking up to you right now? Why do you do what you do, right? And then this is kind of a deeper question. Maybe if you're talking to this person for a while now, you can ask this question. But when you die, what do you want to be remembered for? Right? These questions allow you to tap into them and build out or have them be vulnerable with you and you be vulnerable with them. Because why? People buy into people that they like, know, and trust. So when you can be vulnerable with somebody, they're more likely to trust you, okay, over the long run. And then the last question that I leverage heavy is, what's something in your life that you're looking or that you're wanting to improve right now? What's something in your life that you're wanting to improve right now? So, those are the questions that I really focus on to kind of get a conversation going or to kind of seek out an answer. And again, there's no expectations with what people say. It's just, do I find a need in their life? Can I invite them out? And when I do, and they watch a call or they get on a recording or they go out to an event, I ask them, what did you like best? And I don't care what you didn't like, because I know the need in your life. You told me that you needed something like this. You told me that you didn't want to work at your job anymore. You told me that you wanted to cut your hours in half. You told me you want to spend more time with your kids. You know what I mean? You told me that you needed something like this. So I don't care what you don't like. That's irrelevant. I care what you did like, because if you didn't like anything at all, we're done. Conversation is over. But if you tell me that something that you did like, I know how to help you have a solution, right? So we want to have posture when we talk to people. And the biggest thing I can say is go back and maybe watch that perfect invite that I did, that video, because I talk about how you need to see what's in front of you as the opportunity of a lifetime. You cannot squander the lifetime of this opportunity. It's going to pass you right by. Okay, you have to realize that you have gold in front of you. And if you have gold, you can see the gold. And somebody says, your gold's shit. You're not going to care what they say, because it's gold. You cannot argue that I have gold in my hand. So that has to be your mentality, because if you're not convicted, if you're not convinced in what you have in front of you, nobody else is. So anyways, that's what I wanted to say. I hope you guys got some kind of value out of that. There's about 7.5 minutes left. I want to open it up for anybody that has any questions or want me to dive into further in detail on this. So go ahead, unmute yourself, say whatever you guys got to say.
Hey, Abigail, it's Malik.
What's up, man?
Hey, so a question I had is, what's a good time? Because I've been practicing the perfect invite script. I actually wrote it all down on my notepad too. I kind of modified it to my version. And basically, what's the best way to call? What's the best time to call people to invite them? Early morning or late night, or when they're all at home, or what's a good way to call them? Or a good time to call people that you want to invite to the Zoom call events, like the intro to trading calls or like a live event?
Yeah, so to be honest, I usually try to invite people not the day of, because most people are like busy or they like it's a last minute notice. So
Right.
I try to invite people the day before or a couple days before or whatever. As far as like calling people, that's more of like your warm market, or it could be a cold market person that you've built a relationship with and you now have their phone number, and it's cool if you call them. You don't want to just obviously call people that you don't even know.
Right.
Um, so if it's your warm market, dude, like you know that person's schedule. So if you know that they're going to be home, I don't know, they get off work at 6, you know that they're going to be home at 7, call them then. Um, figure out somebody's schedule first. Honestly, that's really your call. When I
Okay.
call people, it's usually in the afternoon, and it's to call them for, we have events every Tuesday, Thursday out here. So if I want to call somebody to go to an event, I'll call them the day before for our Thursday event. So if I have people coming tonight to our event. So I got in contact with them actually on Tuesday.
Okay.
I actually was going to try to invite them on the Tuesday event, but they're like, yo, I'm working. So I said, hey, Thursday. So I was like, perfect. But does that help?
Yes, that does. Thanks. Have a go.
Cool. Anybody else? Everybody solid? Hopefully that was valuable. Other than that, nobody else has any other questions or anything they want me to dive deeper into. I'm going to go ahead and end this. If you guys have any questions or want me to send you anything that I mentioned, just message me and I'll send you over whatever you guys need. Leverage this, guys. Like what I said, be coachable. Be coachable, be open-minded. This one girl, that's what I wanted to say really quick. The one girl that I had a call with earlier today, she said the moment that she allowed herself to open up and be corrected, that's when everything changed. The moment when she allowed herself to open up and be corrected, she humbled herself. That she said that's when everything changed, and she started to become more aligned with her purpose and where she was trying to go and what she was trying to do. Because a lot of the times people think that they have all the answers, when in reality we're not expected to have all the answers. We've never done something like this before. And I'm not saying I have all the answers. I'm literally telling you guys verbatim what I've learned from my mentors and the people that I talk to on a regular basis. So don't think that I'm coming on here just like kind of pulling things out of the sky. Like I've actually taken the time to learn from other people, and I'm just sharing and regurgitating the same information for you guys to go out and apply. Like I said at the beginning of the call, doing this to allow you guys, I'm teaching to teach. That's what I'm trying to say, because that can lead to so much more in the long run. So with that being said, guys, I'm going to stop rambling. I appreciate all of you for sticking around this call. Like I said, message me if you guys have any questions. And for those of you who have seen the chat, 3-way calls, man, 3-way calls. We literally just got off a 3-way call with this girl. Extremely powerful when you can connect somebody else and leverage that person's success, their credibility, and their experience. That relationship is now 10x. And she was actually trying to get started in about 3 weeks. She's messaging me right now, asking me for the link to get started. That's the power of 3-way calls. So with that being said, guys, I appreciate all of you. Have a great rest of your Thursday. Have a safe weekend. Catch these pips, and I'll talk to you guys later.